Hi everyone, welcome back to my podcast. I'm Em. I hope you all are doing great. This episode is going to be about Stranger Things Volume 2, and we're just going to start because there's a lot of things I want to talk about because I don't know how to feel, and I'm conflicted because I liked the season and I loved Volume 1 and I liked Volume 2, but my expectations were so high because of what everyone was saying, and I was expecting, I did cry, but I was expecting to cry even harder from what they were saying, and for some reason I didn't. It was sad, but I didn't cry as hard as I thought I would, which I'm still confused by that. But it's just, they were saying so many deaths in a body count, and a lot of people did die, but I was expecting 5 of the main characters to die. That's what I was expecting going in, and I was kind of excited to see that, even though of course I was going to cry if 5 characters died. But I was excited to see how they did it and just to get emotionally destroyed. So that kind of upset me a bit that we didn't get that, but then again, I am happy that not many of the main characters died because I would have cried so much harder than I did. But I don't know, it was just a little bit disappointing from how much they were hyping it up for me, and I did like it. I did really like Volume 2, but it just wasn't, or it just didn't hit my expectations because the Duffer Brothers made them so high from what they were saying. And I was expecting, of course, I kind of already knew Eddie was gonna die. And Max she kind of didn't, but then did. I don't know. But I was expecting, also Robin and Steve to die with someone else, a 5th person. And so, when we had an hour left in the final episode, I was, getting prepared for, them to die because I was getting ready. I was oh no, everyone's gonna die, because they said a body count, so of course I thought the main characters. I didn't think it was gonna be Dr. Brenner, which I'm very glad he died, and then I don't even know that guy's name. Chrissy's Chrissy's boyfriend, whatever that guy's name is. I wasn't expecting him to die, even though I'm thrilled. And then I don't even know who else died besides Eddie and Max, kind of, but that's not what I was expecting. And when they died, I didn't think that was the body count they were talking about, so I was waiting for Steve and Robin to die, even though I do absolutely adore them and love them with my whole heart. I was getting prepared for them to die for the past week, reading about everything and the body count, you're gonna die. I was expecting them to die because everyone loves them so much. It's okay, they're probably just preparing us for that, and they're saying that just for them. And also Max too, and then Eddie. It was a lot, and Volume 2 did stress me out a ton, but not as much as I thought I would, just because I was expecting so many more mains to die. And I really thought they were going to do that because, of course, Season 5, it's final season, so they're going to have to kill off a lot of people. And I was expecting them to, kill off half of them, or I said, at least 5, and then probably the rest are going to die in the next season. And I feel that would have been smart for them to kill off multiple main characters, or at least a few this season, and then kill off a lot of the other ones in the final season, so they don't have to kill off everyone, or most of them in the final season, because I know for a fact that most people are not going to survive. I know they have until this point, but it's just gonna get bigger and worse, and I think the stakes for Season 5, it's gonna be insane, especially from that ending. But then also, they always up in how dark it is and how stressful and all the things that happens. They always up it, up the stakes. So I feel barely anyone's gonna make it out of there alive. I really think everyone's going to die, or at least most of them. I feel like maybe there are going to be few people that survive, but I don't know who that would be, and I doubt that. Like, much as I want them to survive because I love them all, I just don't think it's going to happen just because they've lasted long enough from all this. I feel like season 5, something even worse is going to happen. I mean, Vecna is going to be in season 5 because they didn't, kill him, but I feel like he's just going to come back worse and going to kill everyone or just do a ton of shit, and everyone's going to die, or, like I said, the majority. I don't know, I'm really concerned because not only is it season 5 and I'm going to lose the characters either way, even if they don't die, I will lose them, but also just because I'm terrified of what they're going to do, because it always gets more stressful. Each season gets me more stressed, and I'm not ready to go through the pain of the last season, knowing my characters are not coming back, and I'm going to probably lose them to death. And it's very concerning for me, but I'm really excited for the final season, just because I want another season now. And I know that they're going to make season 5 quicker, or it's going to come quicker, which I really hope that's true. And I hope they don't mean just a year and a half or something. I need it next year. I need it in 2023. I need it. It can't be 2 years. I know that's shorter than us waiting for season 4, but I need it in 2023, or at least early 2024. Give me something. I just need things. I need them back because I cannot wait as long as I did for season 4. I cannot do that again, especially because it was 2 parts, and so it ended on a crazy thing, a cliffhanger. I wanted to know more, and then they made us wait a month, and then it was the most stressful thing I've ever witnessed, and I didn't know what to do with myself. But it was a lot. So now I'm just gonna go through stuff that happened in the episode and talk about it and talk about my opinions on it. And the first thing I want to talk about is Byler and Will sexuality and stuff, because I know a lot of people are upset that it wasn't really addressed. I mean, you can tell. I feel like everyone knows and can tell that Will has feelings for Mike, but I'm really upset that it wasn't addressed, because I really thought they were going to address it in volume 2, because I think someone said they were going to. I'm not sure who, but I thought I saw someone said that, and I was really upset because I was expecting them to say it, and I was expecting Will to come out to Jonathan at the pizza place when they were getting the bath ready for Al. I really thought he was going to come out. And of course I get it's the 80s and it's really hard to do and come out. So now thinking about it that, I'm not really surprised, but I really hope they address it in season 5, because I want Will to be happy, and I want him to maybe get into a relationship, because I've been expecting, or not really expecting, but wanting him to get in a relationship for a pretty long time. And I kind of want it to be with Mike, but if it's not, find him someone else who will treat him well, because Mike has been pissing me off this season. I don't know what they did to him. They just fucked up his character, and it's really upsetting because I did like him, but they're just fucking him up, and now I don't like him anymore. And I feel like I will like Mike more in season 5 if he acknowledges Will more, because it took him a really long time to at least acknowledge him, and it was really upsetting me because Will went through hell in season 1. He really went through it, and then Mike is just ignoring him, and I get Elle is his girlfriend. I get that, but still, Will is your best friend and was your best friend for so long, and I feel like you should at least acknowledge him and hug him when you see him. Do something. Be nice. Don't make him third wheel. In that scene where, Will was talking to Mike, showed him the painting, I wanted to die. I really thought it was something else. I really thought it was going to be a cute Byler thing, which I was, freaking out when they showed it. But it was so cute. And when he, turned and started crying, I wanted to die. I really just wanted to hug that guy. He deserves so much better than how Mike treats him. It's garbage, and it pisses me off so much. I kind of want Byler to happen. I do. But then now, with the way Mike has been like treating him, I'm totally okay if they don't do it now. Because I want I want Will to be in a good relationship with someone who doesn't treat him like crap or used to treat him like crap and always treated him well. And the fact that Mike hasn't caught on to the fact that Will probably has feelings for him is really stupid. Like, is he blind? I feel like he probably is and just is only there. Of course, he's only there for 11, probably. But you can, like, tell he really does not give a shit. Because if he was brighter, he would have picked up probably. Like, you have to be blind not to notice it. Like, even Jonathan notices it. And I don't think he really pays attention to much, even though I do absolutely adore Jonathan. He, like, doesn't really pay attention, I feel like, maybe-ish. But the fact that he figured it out, or, like, he knows, probably, just shows that Mike is an idiot. He is blind. He, like, needs to get his act together. And I get that he's trying to help his girlfriend and trying to save her and find her. And I get he loves her. But still, like I said, acknowledge Will. He's your best friend and you've known him longer than you've known Elle. Like, it's not hard. And you should have wrote to him more. Like, you need to acknowledge the fact that he is your best friend. He has been there for you. He's gone through literal hell. And you just are going to just ignore him like that. It's bullshit. Of course, I know he acknowledged Will more in, like, episode 4, I think, of volume 1, or episode 3 maybe. Like, I do know that, but still, it's still bullshit that he didn't at first, and he just was treating him so poorly. Like I was saying, he's known him longer than Elle, and I get that's your girlfriend, but still, you need to acknowledge Will. That's, like, literally all I wanted in season, or volume 2. That's all I wanted. And he kind of did, kind of didn't, because the fact that he didn't even realize or, like, notice that Will has feelings for him probably means he hasn't been paying attention or is just an idiot, like I've said. Sorry about that whole, like, rant thing. We're just going to move on so I don't keep getting upset and ranting a ton about Byler, because I could say a lot more, but I'm just don't want to right now. I probably will when season 5 comes, but for now, we're going to move on and talk about Eddie, because I am heartbroken. I loved Eddie so much, and it didn't really hit me what was going on when he was about to die, when he was, like, the bat thing, because I did watch it at 2 in the morning, or I think when I watched that episode, it was, like, 4, it might have been 5, and I was delusional, because I got, like an hour of sleep. I was, like, really out of it, and it didn't hit me until, like, of course, Dustin came, what was about to happen, because I wasn't, like, prepared yet. Even though I had a feeling he was going to die, I really kind of already knew that. I didn't pick up on it until, of course, like, Dustin was holding him and he was dying, and I wanted to die, and I did cry, not as hard as I thought I would, which really surprises me, but I did cry a bit. And it broke my heart, because the fact that Eddie died saving a town that hated him is just so heartbreaking. And the fact that they still think he's, like, a monster, it just upsets me so much, because he literally helped the town. And they, like, are still looking at him like he's a monster and he killed those people. Like, he didn't do shit. He was scared and he ran away from Chrissy. He didn't kill her. He didn't do anything wrong. He was scared, and I don't blame him. If I was in that situation, I would probably leave too. Like, only an idiot would have stayed, though. Like, when you see that happening, your first instinct should be to run, not to stay and, like, watch what happens. Like, someone's getting possessed, you run. But, like, I feel like that's what I would do, but who knows. And the fact that he said to, like, Dustin, like, he didn't run this time, like, broke me, because he ran the first time for good reason. Like, I would too, and I would probably run in that situation he was in, but it just broke my heart that he didn't get, like, the happy ending he deserved. Everyone still thought he killed the people, he was a monster, and it just broke my heart. And the fact that we only saw Dustin's reaction, and, like, the uncle, the uncle, and didn't see Steve's, Robin's, and like Nancy's and everyone else's, really upset me. Like, I know they weren't like that close, but they were with him and they were working with him, and I wanted to see their reactions about him like dying, especially to help them. Like, come on, it's bullshit that we only got to see Dustin's reaction. We should have seen other people's. And I'm just so upset because I really wanted him to get a happy ending because I loved him so much, and I kind of already knew he was going to die, like, going into it, but it still broke my heart, especially Dustin's reaction. Like, that broke me because he was like kind of like a big brother or like a father figure to him, as well as Steve, of course. And it was just so upsetting that like Dustin had to watch it, and like Eddie sacrificed himself. It was so fucking sad, and I don't know what to do with myself. So the next thing we're going to talk about, or like I want to talk about, is Max and like that whole thing, because that like broke me into pieces, and I don't really want to talk about it because how much it hurt me, but I have to because it was like such a big thing that happened, and so I feel like I have to. And the first thing I want to say is their acting, especially like Caleb's, was so good, and that's what hit me harder. I love Max to death, and I was crying already, but when he was screaming for Erica to help, that broke me, especially because the fact that that was improvised was like such a good thing to put in, and I'm like so happy Caleb did that because it showed so much more emotion, and I feel like that's really what should have always been in the script. And like how we saw Elle like crying about it broke me as well, because I love Eleven and Max's friendship, and I was so sad we didn't get like a proper like in person like hug and like a reunion. And so that broke me when she was like crying there. I'm so happy that Elle like saved her, kind of like, or restarted her heart or something. I'm not 100% sure what she did. I still haven't figured that out, because I really thought she was dead until she was in the hospital, like somewhat okay. But also the fact that Max is probably going to be blind next season breaks my heart. Like, come on, why did they have to do that to her? Like, I know she was going to die this season. Like, I already knew that. Had a strong feeling. And I'm really happy she kind of, like, survived, or, like, they saved her. But still, I want her to be happy in season 5, not blind, or at least in the hospital. Because there's going to be a time jump, I don't think she's going to be in the hospital anymore. She'll probably be, like, in a wheelchair or something. But the fact she's not going to see is just so upsetting to me. And I just want her to be happy. I also really hope that Sadie gets nominated for an Emmy and also wins, because first, that running up that hill scene in episode 4, that deserves an award. But also her acting when she was like saying that she couldn't feel or see anything literally broke me into pieces because it felt so real, and she deserves all the awards for her like acting this season. It was just too good not to get any awards. And also Caleb, I really hope Caleb gets some nominations too, because they all deserve it. Like, come on. So the next thing I want to talk about is Joyce and Hopper, because I'm so happy about them, because like I've been shipping them since season 1. Of course, it has not been 6 years because I watched it a few years ago. I think like I watched it in 2018, I'm pretty sure. But still, I've been wanting them together since I started watching. Like, they're just so cute together. And I was screaming-ish, kind of, when they kissed. I wanted to scream much louder than I did because it was really early in the morning and everyone was asleep. I had to like keep it down. But I was like silently screaming. I was like freaking out because I waited for so long for this. And it finally happened. And I really am so excited for season 5 to see them as a couple, probably. Who knows, because there will be a time jump. But I feel like they'll stick it out and they'll stay together. Because also, I really want to see Elle, like, have a family. And, like, have a mom and a dad, like, that both equally care for her. Especially because, like, Joyce became her mom when, like, Hopper was away. So I'm really excited to see them, like, as a family. And I feel like that's going to be so cute. Especially, like, that ending shot where, like, you saw all of them and, like, Joyce and Hopper were holding hands. I wanted to die. And I feel like maybe that shows like who are going to be like the main couples of next season, or like who are going to still be together or something. Because you saw Joyce and Hopper holding hands, Jonathan and Nancy, and then Will and Mike. So I was thinking maybe they're going to get together, or at least something's going to happen, because I don't think it was a coincidence that like they were in the center of them and like the couples were together, and like that couldn't be a coincidence. So maybe we're getting Byler in season 5, hopefully. I can hope. And also I do want to say, I do ship Mike and 11. I really do. But Byler has grown on me, so I'm like kind of split in the middle right now. And even though I don't want Mike and 11 to break up, because I want 11 happy, but I really want Will and Mike to get together. I really do. Even though I was saying like I want Will to be with like someone who's really going to care for him, but maybe Mike will grow into be that person, because I really do like them together. Okay, now I really do want to talk about like Steve in that thing. And now this is where it's going to get kind of probably chaotic, because it's going to be like Steve and kind of Nancy, and I am a hardcore Jonathan and Nancy shipper. And so I don't know how this is going to work out for me and how I'm going to do talking about this. But okay, what upset me the most is like not that Jonathan and Nancy are together and like Steve was like flirting and like Nancy was kind of flirting back, was the fact that like Steve had such a good arc and like he's grown, and the fact that he like kind of went back or like wanted to go back to like Nancy kind of jeopardized his great arc. And that's what upset me more than the fact that like Nancy was getting close to happening, because I do love Steve with my whole heart, but the fact that they were kind of like jeopardizing his arc, like him growing up and becoming a better person, and putting him back to like Nancy is just kind of like putting him back to where he was, and it was really upsetting. And I feel like maybe if I didn't ship Jonathan and Nancy as hard as I did, I would maybe be okay with it. But then also, again, his like redemption is like getting pushed back, I feel like, maybe because of that. But that might just be me being the hardcore Jonathan and Nancy shipper. I am. And of course, I'm really happy that Jonathan and Nancy did not break up and I got my reunion. I'm very happy about that. But I, of course, am worried about them in season 5 because something is kind of off. But I can hope. And if they break up, I will die. But at least Natalia and Charlie are still together and I can live from them. Also, I feel like the reason Nancy looked so in love with Jonathan in the moment, like the way she was staring at him, it was really just Natalia looking at Charlie. I really do believe that. Like, I do think Nancy loves Jonathan. I do think that, and I will take that to the grave. But still, I think in that moment, it was Natalia looking at Charlie, because they, in real life, are so in love, and it's so cute, and I could like make a whole video on Natalia and Charlie in the future because of how much I love them. But so we're not going to go into that right now, but still. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was like Robin and Vicky. I think that's her name. I hope it is. I am happy that Robin like will probably be with her next season, maybe, and I'm happy like they talked, and knowing she's not straight, so she wasn't like just going after a straight person, which I was really happy about. But I really wish that Vicky had a bigger part, especially because I really thought she was going to, from how like she was at the premiere and they were like, she had a picture or something on like Stranger Things set. I really thought we were getting much more of her, and the fact we only got like a few minutes was really upsetting. But I'm happy Robin got to talk to her, and they're probably going to become a thing. And the way Steve was like so proud, like folding the clothes was like the cutest thing ever. So I'm really happy about that. Because I don't really remember much more than this at the moment, because I watched it at 2 a.m. with 1 hour of sleep, I kind of forgot some things. But if like you want me to talk about like other things from it that I like maybe forgot about like, right now, comment and I'll do it soon. But like now I'm gonna talk about like my theories and like things for season 5 and what I think is gonna happen. Besides the fact that I think everyone is going to die, I think Mike and 11 are gonna break up. Even though I don't want that, I feel like they will. Especially because there's going to be like a 2-year time jump, which I don't know how the fuck they're going to do that. It's really confusing me how they're going to pull that off, because literally their town is getting destroyed. Like, the world is ending. But I honestly feel like most of the couples are going to break up. Maybe Max and Lucas will be together, or like maybe, I don't know. I feel like maybe not, but I really hope so. I feel like Jonathan and Nancy are probably going to be broken up during that time jump, which is really upsetting to me, because of course I do absolutely adore them and I want them to be endgame. And as long as they're endgame, I'm okay. But still, I feel like they might break up going to college, or like just they stuff was going on, so they're probably going to break up. But I really hope Steve and Nancy don't happen. I will be okay with the breakup if Steve and Nancy aren't going to happen, and Jonathan and Nancy will be endgame. I don't know what else I think is going to happen. Maybe a Joyce and Hopper wedding. We'll find out where the fuck Murray is, because I want to know where my guy is. I miss him. I really hope he's not dead. And probably it's literally everyone's going to die, and probably Hawkins will be like really destroyed. And I hope everyone who survives gets out of that town really fucking fast, because they have so much trauma. I feel like they just need to get out and get help, get some therapy, and I feel like they'll be fine. But honestly, that's all I think about for like season 5, because I don't know what else to expect. I would like love to have more theories, but like I don't know, because they could go either way. Like, I got nothing wrong. I mean, not nothing wrong. I got nothing right this season about my theories. So I'm just going to stop there, because I don't know what else. But that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you want me to do an episode on season 1, 2, 3, and the first part of 4, comment, and I'll do it as soon as I can. And if there is something I forgot to talk about that you want me to talk about, like discuss, comment, and I'll do it. And I don't know when my next episode is going to be at the moment. I will figure that out and maybe post something about it on the community tab, maybe, who knows. But for now, this is it. Again, thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys have a great day or night. Thank you again. Bye.